Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for being here. First thing I want to do is to thank you, Mobbeel project, and especially his coordinator, Sebastian Marcel, for inviting me to be here today. And also, I want to congratulate them for their hard work and results they have got, because we have been following kind of a parallel path during the last 2 years, so I can really understand very well the kind of challenges they have faced and overcome. Before we start, let me ask you a few questions. How many of you use your mobile phone for something more than just call and text? Please raise your hand. Okay, a lot. And how many of you store any kind of sensitive information inside, like emails, pictures, documents, personal or professional? Okay, quite a lot too. And how many of you use biometric authentication in your daily life, on a daily basis? Well, a few, yeah. Well, we are in a biometrics conference, so but I can assure you, if you ask this question in any other scenario, very, very few people use biometric authentication in their daily lives. So the goal of this talk is simple: is to help your companies or your clients to focus their resources on where they can produce the best results. We are going to see which is the weakest link in the security chain, and how mobile phones can introduce new security risks, but also can help us to solve some problems. Well, who we are? Literally speaking, we are these 5 guys, but speaking on a broader sense, Mobbeel is a company that develops biometric security solutions for mobile phones. That's our mission. We develop security, but specifically biometric security, and only for mobile phones. And our vision is bringing the high security to the ordinary people and make it possible to use it when and where they need it. And that's enough of us. So over the last years, some significant progress has been made in some areas that contribute to make more secure the access to digital services. But sometimes we seem to forget that security is like a chain. It is as strong as its weakest link. So sometimes we see some efforts in making more secure transfer protocols, and creating hardware that is more resistant to attacks and reverse engineering, and better encryption algorithms, more restricted access to facilities. Okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, all this is needed. It's just it shouldn't be the priority. Let me tell you a real example. It's about a company who claimed to have a very secure data storage service. And indeed, their servers were placed on a Second World War bunker, protected with all kinds of control access, including biometrics. But then the application that their customers used to upload and download the data was installed on an outdated web and application server with non-security bugs. And it was worse. All the information they stored in clear. So why the hell I'm going to try to break the physical security of a Second World War bunker when I can access the data with my PC from the other side of the world? So it's like if you invest a lot of money trying to secure a window in your house, you install iron bars and you install glass break detectors and so on and so forth, and then you let your door open. So it doesn't make any sense. Security can be seen as a pyramid, sliced into different layers, and from this the authentication is the foundation. It can be seen as the single one most important aspect in the security chain. The first step is always making sure that you are who you say you are. If the authentication fails or is too weak, then the upper levels of the pyramid are compromised. Well, as you probably know, there are mainly three different methods to prove your identity. Something you only know, like passwords or PINs, something only you have, credit cards, identity cards, and something only you are, all the kinds of biometrics we have seen. From these three, the most common used method by far is something only you know, or in other words, the traditional passwords. The average internet user, and Sebastian showed us before, must remember about 15 passwords, and this number is increasing very quickly. Well, in fact, I have more than 60 passwords. Nothing is wrong with the use of a password. It's not a method that is intrinsically insecure. I mean, it can be very secure as long as some conditions are met. It is long, it is random, it mixes uppercase, lowercase, numbers, digits, and it's changed frequently. You don't share it with other services, and it's never ever written down. Yeah, that's the ideal world, but let's face reality. The human brain is just not designed to work that way. Most people just choose a very simple password, their pet name or birthday, and they repeat it for everything, from e-banking to Facebook. A study conducted on 32 million passwords that were hacked from a website called Rockyu, I think, shows that most of the passwords are really weak and they are vulnerable to dictionary attacks. So, can you guess what was the most common password? Anyone? No, could be, but it was, in this case, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the second one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the third was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, at least this was long, and well, the fourth was password, and so on and so forth. So you can understand which kind of passwords people use. Well, sometimes I think this is normal, and we cannot avoid it. And sometimes, if we try to deny it, we are forgetting the human factor. We are forgetting that we are dealing with human beings. And some system designers think that they can improve the system security just enforcing some password policies that they are crazy. That very long passwords, change them very frequently. And in this case, what's happened is this, that people just write the password down and put it on their screens. So this is the weakest link for us. This is where companies should be investing their resources to get the better results. Well, we are in a biometrics conference. We know that biometrics can be a very secure and convenient method to provide a strong authentication of the user. And I'm not going to discuss all the benefits, but also problems that biometrics have. But I think it's obvious that they can help to prove the user identity. However, its use is not common between ordinary people. It is mainly focused on several use cases, that many of which has been widely discussed here, like access control or border control and military uses. We think this is due to well, among other factors, of course, but this is due to the need to have hardware specifically designed for the purpose. So then it can only be used on very specific situations, on very specific place where the hardware, the sensor is installed, and sometimes even with the help of a trained user. So, well, you can say that mobile biometry already exists, and it's true, but again, it's limited to very specific use cases. Well, by the way, it's very curious the way that the method that they use to remove the eyelashes and eyelids from the iris. I'm wondering if the U.S. Army has already patented it or not. So that's a joke anyway. Well, and also the exponential growth in the use of mobile phones has added a new security risk. Well, in the world there are more than 4 billion mobile phones. That's almost 4 times the number of PCs. Well, in some countries, some developed countries, many developed countries, the penetration is above 100%. So it means that there are more mobile phones than people. That's crazy. The problem is that we are dealing with devices that store sensitive information, both personal and professional. A recent survey shows that 40% of the users would rather lose their wallet rather than their mobile phone. Yes. Imagine losing your wallet with your money, with your identity cards, credit cards. Well, but for a lot of users now, their mobile is more valuable than their wallet. And I think it's a trend that we cannot stop. But mobile phones are not only a problem, they can also bring us some solutions. The improvements in their features has made possible the development of technologies that were just not possible a few years ago. A mobile phone is as powerful as probably a PC from 10 years ago, as Marcus said, and it's hundreds of times more powerful than the computer that guided the Apollo 11 to the moon and bring it back safe. So, of course, there are many, many limitations. Marcus and Sebastian pointed out before, but still, they are incredibly powerful machines. So, and if we take into account all the built-in sensors, they can, like camera, touch screens, microphone, accelerometers, GPS, they can give us a lot of information about his user. And that has made possible the development of a technology that is able to acquire the biometric identity of the user with the built-in sensors, and it's able to process all that information and give us a reliable authentication of the user. And there is a fundamental difference between this technology and many of the technologies we have seen here these days. And it is that it uses something that everybody carries with themselves, their mobile phones. So that can allow a massive deployment of the technology and can make possible that people use it where and when they need it. Well, Mobbeel has developed speaker and face recognition. We have been testing several technologies, but mainly iris recognition and signature recognition. And you might be wondering which one is the best. So for me, there's no single best technology. It all depends on several factors. The 3 main factors for me are the kind of user and cultural environment. It's not the same for a techie than for an older man. Of course, the application, the use case we are trying to deal with. And also the situation. Even for a given user and a given application, the technology can be different in different situations, like a train or a conference or a very noisy place or the streets, wherever. Well, some use cases, but very, very quickly. For us, the most obvious use cases of this technology are those who involve money transfers. like mobile payments, and we have been talking about this before. In this case, we are trying to show how it can be integrated with existing payment platforms such as PayPal or Google Checkout to provide an extra layer of security. This example is similar, but using NFC. That was also previously mentioned. And then the user just passes the mobile phone in the NFC reader and then authenticate using his iris or voice or face or signature, and then the payment is done. And this is another example where the user can sign a contract or a document in a very intuitive way. The contract is sent to the mobile phone, and then the user can read it, and if he or she agrees, then just sign it the same way that he or she will do it in person, just signing on the device screen. And then, under the hood, a digital certificate is used to digitally sign the document and send it back, but that's not important for the user. What is important for him or her is that they are able to sign a contract in a matter of minutes on the fly while they are on the street or on the train or whatever. And there are many, many more, from e-banking to the lockdown, just lock down the phone and protect the sensitive information, or access to corporate networks. Well, in general, I think each and every application that needs to prove the user identity in a reliable way is a perfect, and without limitations of time and space, it's a perfect candidate to be integrated with this technology. Well, just to finish, we have seen that the mobile biometry can help to strengthen the weakest link, but is it a silver bullet? Well, I think of course not. If we have learned something in the field of security, is that there are no shortcuts, no magic wands, no silver bullets. For me, biometric security it's a complement of other existing factors rather than a substitute. And just to finish, how it can be integrated with other authentication factors. An increasingly popular way to raise the level of security is especially among some banks, is giving the user this kind of electronic tokens. At the end, it's just something that you only have, and you can combine them with pins, and it increases the level of security. But what happens if a lot of your banks, uses this kind of method? Well, that your pocket becomes too heavy, and I think in UK some banks have already implemented this solution, and one of them, Abbey, just said that they are not going to do it because the customers told them that they don't want more gadgets in their pockets. They want more security, but they don't want anything more in their pockets. So I'm wondering why I should carry another gadget, another device, when I already carry one that is perfectly capable to do this and much more. It's my mobile phone. So we can have a two-factor authentication very quickly with a mobile phone. And also, of course, if we combine them with biometrics, as we have seen, we can have a highly secure solution, three-factor authentication, something you know, a PIN or password, something you have, your mobile phone, and something you are, and all this with the same device that you already have in your pocket. And even we can think to go and step beyond that, and we can think about four-factor authentication. And it's something you know, something you have, something you are, and somewhere you are. Well, to be honest, speak about location as an authentication factor is a bit of marketing. I'm in London, so what? With 12 other million people. Okay, so it cannot be seen as an authentication method to identify a person, but it can provide very useful information. I mean, the last attempt to use my credit card illegally was made from China. I'm not in China, I'm in Spain, or now I'm in London. So that transaction should have been rejected immediately. So that's a very valuable information. Well, just to sum up, we have seen that the weakest link in the security chain for us are passwords, and how mobile biometry can help to strengthen this weakest link, and as a consequence, to give the best results for the invested resources. Well, just to finish, I would like to, emulating Jim Wayman from the first day, I would like to make a prediction, and it is that today we are here in the emerging biometric panel, but in less than 5 years' time, it will become mainstream. And believe me, boy, it's going to be huge. Thank you very much.